So good morning and welcome to the Mindfulness Tree Meditation Community as we gather for our monthly gathering. And so we're going to begin with our opening meditation. And so I invite you to take a comfortable seat, and I am going to invite the bell. Listen, listen. The sound of the bell calls me back to my true home. And so in the sitting position, we arrive. We arrive in the present moment, not what has come before or is going to come later, but this very moment. And we settle. As we settle the body, we might begin to notice that the mind also settles. That mind-body connection. And we welcome ourselves. We welcome ourselves to our true home, in our true nature, our Buddha nature. And to help us ground ourselves in this present moment, we use our 6 senses to remind us that we are here in the now. And so I invite you to open your eyes just gently so that your sight rests upon perhaps an object in your room or something that might be outside. And without bringing a name or a story to that object, just notice it. The shape of it, the color, and realizing that with the sense of sight, we see many, many things, but by resting upon one thing, we can allow it to be. And then allowing your eyes to gently close, the image of that object just dissolving. We employ the gift and the sense of hearing, noticing any sounds that might be occurring in your room. The sound of the air handler or perhaps a clock. And then extending the sense of hearing beyond the walls to the outside. Perhaps hearing someone using lawn machinery or an airplane going overhead, or the chirping of birds. And without judging, just notice. The sense of hearing opens a world. And then the sense of smell. If there's a candle with a scent, perhaps you smell that. Perhaps the remnants of the coffee that was brewing or the tea. Or if you're close to the outside, the smell of a summer day. And then the sense of touch. The feet on the floor, the parts of the body that are making contact with the chair, the hands resting upon a part of your body. And if you're sitting outside, perhaps a breeze, even in the midst of the heat, or the heat that is affecting so many places in our country. And the sense of taste. If you have a snack nearby, or your tea or your coffee, perhaps it's a beverage, or there's a memory of that beverage that you had, or the cool taste of water when it first reaches your tongue in the morning. These 5 senses serve to ground us in any time that we're feeling scattered or at loose ends. It helps us to be present in the moment. And then finally, the sense of consciousness. That which makes us aware of the world around us. That encompasses thoughts, feelings, consciousness that makes us connected to others who also experience consciousness. Other human beings, animals, birds, and all parts of the natural world, perhaps in ways we don't understand, but are available to us. And within that sense of consciousness, notice what is present for you today in the way of a feeling tone, or the Pali word is Vedana. The feeling tone appears before a specific emotion might make itself known. The feeling tone that is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. What is there? Is it driven by personal relationships, or the news, or world events. But before you go off into what might be causing it, just notice as you sit with that feeling, what is its texture? How does it feel in your body? A lightness? A heaviness? A numbness? Without including the story, just be with that feeling tone. And now I invite you to bring your conscious attention to the breath. By focusing on the breath at any given moment in your day, it serves in some ways to change the channel of the thinking mind, of the feeling tone. Like telling a small child, now just breathe, when they're upset. The gift of the breath helps to balance out the central nervous system and becomes a friend, especially when we're triggered. And so I invite you to take 3 deep breaths, inhaling deeply, and then at the end, exhaling completely. And again, 2 more times. And just notice, with taking those 3 breaths, if you notice that your shoulders may have relaxed just a bit, allowing that exhale to call upon the relax and regenerate quality. Notice the body as you allow the breath to just return to a normal pace. Just notice the texture of the breath. Notice on the inhale where you feel it the most, and on the exhale where you sense it moving through the body. And I invite you to count the breaths, counting from 1 to 10, either using prayer beads or using your hands, of inhaling and exhaling 1, inhaling and exhaling 2, and continuing on at your own pace. And when you get to the end of the counting to 10, simply begin again. Counting from 1 to 10, not forcing, but allowing it to come. And when you reach the end, just sit with the breath, following it in any manner that is skillful for you. And so in closing, I'm going to share with you a poem by Mary Oliver that you may be familiar with. It's entitled "The Summer Day." Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean the one who has flung herself out of the grass and the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Thank you for your practice and your presence today.